Mastering the art of nuance is one of the most important things you need to be successful. Most people, statistically, are not listening to every word you say. They just can't. I I am long-winded as hell when I'm not careful. And even I'm not listening. I'm just getting it out. It sucks. Um, but yeah, back to the point. Learning to listen in a way that helps you absorb the most important details, as well as the nuance of looking at how someone's body language, physical presentation, aesthetic, use of language, linguistics, if you want to get mad specific, how it all merges with their energy and what they deliver in total to you and how you pay attention to it, plus what's really going on. Some people don't realize that they are walking balls of cognitive dissonance. Some people think that they just say one thing and do the other, when the truth is they're just lying to themselves and we're pretending that we don't see that for ourselves. The reason why mastering nuance is important as a magician, as a co-creator of your own life, and as a spiritual person, heck, even if you're an atheist and you're just tuning in and you don't believe in shit, is because the devil is in the details. And there will be many a point in time where you're trying to figure something out. And the truth is that there is a detail you do not know that is affecting your focus on everything. This is why it's important to detach, because the quicker you learn to detach when something's not working out for you by processing your emotions, creating with your emotions, channeling and transmuting your emotions, the quicker you handle the detachment and transmutation piece, the faster you can tweak with the tiniest effort and make a pivotal change in what it is you're seeking to experience. Um, this carries over in the real world because, again, are not, most people are not focused. Most people are not detail oriented. Most people only care about the things that they care about, and they only think about the things that they think about. And their locus for control and their whole perception is upon that. You, you're going to do the same, but you're also going to learn to read between the lines of other people and what they're doing and their nuances so that you can see how they're interacting with your world. You'll know when to take a step back or a step forward based upon what's happening. Nobody will have to tell you. You will just know, you know? Like I was also thinking about the truth about forgiveness the other day. And what I realized with the truth about forgiveness is, yes, it's important to forgive. It's highly important to forgive. But nobody can make you forgive. You can't even make yourself forgive. Forgiveness is something that you can work towards, but the nuance of the situation, the nuance of how things are playing out in general, that's going to let you know, honestly and truly, whether or not you can forgive a specific event, person, situation, or combination of all the above. Only life can teach you that. And only mastering nuance can give you the energy you need to see things the way you need to see them in a way that helps you detach so you can tweak reality to your favor. And the last thing, and hopefully I can get this out smoothly because it's been dancing around me, but then evading me when I try to say it. When you're manifesting something or you're trying to push past something and you happen to start listening to this tarot reader or an oracle reader or a prophet, or you listening to sermons and it just feels like it's speaking to your spirit, ignore the source if it usually will bother you and embrace it for what it is. Sometimes you could listen to a tarot reader because they're, speaking your whole life into existence in terms of what happened. And you need to feel that energetic validation. You need to understand you aren't alone in this, and that's your confirmation. Sometimes you might gravitate toward a reader who might say, oh, you're about to have such a wonderful life, such a wonderful situation. What happened in the past happened because this, that, and the third, and you weren't aware of this, that, and the third. Okay, that's the clarity you needed. But when they're speaking things that haven't happened yet but will, and they resonate with what you desire, it is nobody's business if you marathon listen, as long as you need to listen until things change. Because what's happening is there's an energy that reader is carrying. It's not about whether the stuff she says is exactly true. It's the energy that reader is carrying. Between those card pulls, they're carrying downloads and channels that you specifically needed to hear. That pastor is saying things you specifically needed to hear. That prophetess, she's saying things you needed to hear. That random looking person on the internet that you'd be like, oh, they're so interesting looking, but I can't look away. Yeah, they're saying things that you need to hear. If there's something that you're gravitating toward during this transition, and hold on, if there's something you're gravitating toward in this transition, and it's unorthodox or not what you would usually be into, but it's helping your energy out, it's helping you optimize how you speak about things, how you view things, and how you're getting past things, use it for the reason and the season. Don't question it, because this is where the other aspect of the nuance lies, in basically clearing out your perspective of something from a 360-degree vantage point, from a bird's eye view. Sometimes it looks like being delusional, like saying the opposite of what happened. It looks like affirming the opposite of what you see in your reality and what everybody else is seeing and saying. And maybe genuinely what's appealing. It may look like having delusional thoughts, having delusional behaviors, but as long as those behaviors and thoughts are congruent with where you actually want to be and you're paying attention, you will naturally begin to do things that open the path for this to happen as soon as possible. So you might have to lean into the emotionality for a minute as well. You may go through a period where you have a lot of anger, have a lot of hate, have a lot of vengeance, a lot of jealousy, a lot of rebellion. These are times where you pull all of that into your creative power. Make books, write things down, create something from that energy, and also capture how you felt in words, in music, journal, whatever you have to do, capture it, turn it into something. Write a song, perform it, create a candle, learn a new skill, move across the country because you hate being next to that person so much. Capture that emotionality and use it to feel whatever you need to feel to clear that level, because you're not going to feel that way forever. If you feel that way forever, and you haven't evolved in any way since the way you started feeling that way, when you're ready to forgive and move on because you'd rather get to your next level than be held back by that shit, you're going to do what it takes. I promise you. So I'm not even going to fight you on that. But once you're tired of holding on to things that honestly weigh you down, bore you, or honestly don't even feel as big as they used to feel, that's when you're ready to forgive. And you can forgive by saying, I'm open to the idea of being willing to forgive, even if I don't want to be. That alone is just as good as forgiveness because you're being honest and there's nothing wrong with that. It's like, even if you're like, I forgive you, but I don't forgive this as much as you think I do. I don't want to forgive you and I don't forgive you, but I'm going to think about it. Like, the fact that you're even letting that word roll off your tongue and move into your frequency, it'll do the work on its own because all forgiveness needs is the willingness the size of a mustard seed. And when you realize that things you're holding on to are holding you back in ways that you would never be able to compute without the art of nuance and the art of observation and detachment, you're going to be able to let that go. You know what? I'm just going to end that here because suddenly everybody wants to honk and yeah, maybe I'll continue in another one. But have a good one. Bye.